Sarah, thank you. And that's it from the BBC News at 10. There's more analysis of the day's main stories on Newsnight with Kirsty Walk, which is just getting underway on BBC Two. The news continues here, though, on BBC One. It's time to join our colleagues across the nations and regions for the news where you are. Good night.
Sophie, thank you very much indeed. Hello, good evening. Here we are in East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire, and time for the late look north. Good evening. It's a colourful cartoon book aimed at preschool children about a grandad and his memories of attending pride marches with his gay partner. But it's these pictures which has led to one family pulling their daughter out of school in Hull. And they've asked the question, would you be happy for your 4-year-old to see pictures like these? Well, today I spoke to the father, Will Taylor, about his decision. Mr. Taylor, why did you take your daughter out of nursery?
Fundamentally, within an instant of their response, I realised that these people had no clue how to decide what was age appropriate and what was age inappropriate for my daughter.
When you complained, did they apologise?
Immediately, no. They actually defended the images and called me offensive for even raising the issue.
How did you react to that?
Well, I was just having absolutely none of that at all, because there's nothing offensive about raising a safeguarding concern. That's our job. And I just focused on the fact that we've got 2 images in this book which are erotic and sexual in nature. And I don't know what planet they're on, but you do not show 4-year-old children pictures of men in leather fetish gear.
What did they think of you?
Well, they didn't use the word bigot, but from their use of the word offensive and their constant focus on the rest of the book, which was about celebration of pride, they seemed to be heavily implying that I was some kind of transphobe or homophobe, which I was having.
And let me just clarify this, you're not?
No, not at all. I mean, I've got a long positive history with that movement. I've volunteered for Hull Pride and York Pride. I've taken my goddaughters to Gay Pride Paris, and I've been to gay bars and clubs more times than I can count.
Children wouldn't understand what's going on here anyway with these pictures. They'd just think it was adults dressing up.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was the initial response from the nursery. They said, you know it's erotic, we know it's erotic, but that's just our opinion because we're grown-ups. A child would not understand it to be erotic. So, but here's the thing, the point I tried to get across, and they just wouldn't have it, is that there are lots of things we as adults could do to a child which they would not understand. We can swear, and they might not understand the words. We can expose ourselves and start to do strange things to ourselves they wouldn't understand. Just because the child doesn't understand what's going on or what it means does not mean it's appropriate.
Had you not complained, the book would still be there?
Yeah, it'd still be there.
What do you think of safeguarding, briefly?
Safeguarding? Well, I've been in education for a long time.
Safeguarding at the nursery, as far as the reaction you got?
At the nursery? Well, I just lost all trust and confidence in safeguarding at that nursery. If we have grown-ups, safeguarding trained grown-ups who think that image is appropriate for a 4-year-old child, I didn't know what else to think.
Last question. This book is aimed, it's marked as 4+, so it's for 4-year-olds and over. Is that wrong?
I think that's completely wrong. And I know the publishers have defended it, and I know the authors have defended it. I think the message from that book could have been made.
What do you think parents watching this now, tonight, what do you think they will think?
Well, what I would like them to think is to realise that this book was promoted by Hull City Children's Library at our Malarkey Festival. So this has been promoted by our local council, and it is now available in East Riding libraries in the children's section. And I think they would be horrified to know that our authorities, our council, is pushing this on our children and putting it in the nurseries. The response from the nursery is that this book is in educational establishments all across Hull, and parents need to go asking for it.
Mr. Taylor, very good to see you. Thank you very much indeed.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, Will Taylor talking to me earlier this afternoon. Well, Anderson Press, who published the book, say that we stand by our author and our illustrator, Harry Woodgate. We believe it is a faithful representation of Pride celebrations. And Genesis Preschool has written to the family saying they agree that the images in the book are not age appropriate, and the book has now been removed. The 17-year-old girl who died after a motorway crash was Elise Thomas from Driffield in East Yorkshire. The crash on the M1 near Wakefield happened 10 days ago. Elise died in hospital last Friday. Today, her family have described her as a beautiful soul. A jury at Lincoln Crown Court will decide whether this woman is guilty of animal cruelty for allegedly hitting and kicking a horse. Sarah Moulds in Green denies the charge at Gumby 2 years ago. The trial is expected to last 2 days. Water bills will go up to help pay for new infrastructure to keep the taps flowing, according to Lincolnshire's biggest supplier. Anglian Water is currently building a huge £500 million pipeline that'll stretch from the Humber to Colchester, and says it needs 2 large new reservoirs, which could cost more than £4 billion. The pipeline is Anglian's biggest ever project and will be able to carry 55 million litres of water every day. The repairs for a 140-year-old lion statue in Grimsby are expected to take 3 months after £10,000 was raised for the work. One of the 2 lions standing at the entrance to Wheelsby Woods was destroyed in a car crash in April. The Friends of Wheelsby Woods raised the cash in just a week. It'll now be worked on by a stonemason in Lincoln. That's the news tonight. Let's get the weather forecast now for Wednesday. It comes from Keely Donovan.
Hello there, good evening. Another largely dry day to come tomorrow. There'll be some sunshine around, but we will see an increase in cloud through the course of the day, particularly across parts of Lincolnshire. Not much cloud to speak of out there at the moment. It's tended to melt away. A fine night with clear spells and temperatures dropping back to around 11 or 12 degrees. So tomorrow there will be some sunshine, particularly through the morning, but as the day wears on, we'll see a bit more of this cloud in the south moving northwards. So an increase in cloud through the course of the day, but still some brightness around. And even though there could be the odd spot of rain, it should be largely dry. Not as breezy as today, and temperatures getting up to around 22 or 23 degrees. Towards the back end of the week, it looks like it will become a little bit fresher. There'll also be a few showers around, but a lot of dry weather too.
And that's it from us. Thank you for watching. We're back tomorrow through the day. I'll see you tomorrow night if you can make it. Hope you can at 6:30. Take care. Bye for now.